frequently receiving from students debating between BTC and CLP in Malaysia. So for Naveen, can I know why you choose to do BTC, not to do the CLP in Malaysia?
I'm going to be very frank. I spoke to a lot of people before I decided, and everyone was like, "Do the bar course. Do the bar course. You have a higher percentage of passing if you do the bar course instead of doing CLP." And I was like, you know what? If the others say it, so I'm going to just follow it, and that's why I chose the BTC. No particular reason that I can give, because I wasn't really familiar with both at the time, but I just listened to the others' advice, and that's why.
What about you, Stephen? So when the time that you finished the LLB in UWE, did you like come across, consider between this and came down to do the BTC? If yes, then the reasons behind?
Okay, so I'm going to adopt whatever Naveen said, because that's absolutely my thought process at the same time. You hear a lot of horror stories about the bar. You hear even more horror stories about the CLP. So if you're doing like a weighing, like a test to just weigh which one sounds worse, the CLP always takes the cake. And so I think that the reason I didn't really even give the CLP any sort of consideration is actually two things. One is that I never wanted my entirety of learning of the entire course to be dictated in 4 papers or 5 papers, where literally it's a make or break, and you don't have the structure that the bar gives you, where you have exams throughout the year, so you can focus and plan and everything. This one is just you go straight to the CLP, you study as hard as you can, you come up with a paper that the questions may seem easy, but when it comes to marking, it's a whole different ballgame altogether. So that's I didn't want to hitch all my bets into just doing a final exam and getting it over and done with. And I think probably another important thing, which, since in my firm we have a combination of people who have done the bar and CLP, and the reason that a lot of people say the bar is always better is because you get advocacy training, which you don't get in the CLP. The CLP is just one major exam and that's it. And you notice a lot of students who do the CLP and then come into practice, they're not as confident as those who have done the bar, because they're not used to standing up on their feet and presenting, unless of course they've done mooting or public speaking back in the day. But usually you notice that the bar students have a bit more confidence when they speak, and they're able to address certain points if they are presenting something much better. And I wanted to give myself at least that benefit to know that once I start doing my pupillage, I am able to speak in front of a crowd at least, which I may not have gotten a chance if I'd done the CLP.
True. Naveen, you have any thought to share?
I'll be very honest. I'm gonna parrot what Naveen and Stephen said, because it's exactly true. I have had friends, close friends of mine, who we've done the degree at the same time together, graduated at the same time, and some of them went to CLP, and me, I went to take the bar. And what they're saying is exactly true, which is the CLP is harder, but the way they say it's harder is it's sort of artificially harder in that sense, which is like, for example, something I'm not gonna act as if I know anything about the CLP, because I've never taken the CLP before. But an example that my friend has given me is like, you have to remember certain things that are genuinely so. It's something that when you're in practice, you could just Google. You can say the same thing for the bar, but the thing is that information, when you're learning it in the bar, is actually crucial. They do actually need you to remember crucial things, whereas in the CLP, some of the stuff is a bit questionable. I would say that when they're examining you. And on top of that, I agree with Stephen entirely that advocacy is extremely important. I feel like if you are good at advocacy, you will change as a person in general. I think your quality as a person, just by being able to speak and convey your thoughts very accurately and precisely, will change you as a person and make you a better solicitor, barrister, completely. And the CLP not having an advocacy course really does break it for me, because I do not want my whole bar career or CLP career or like lawyer career to start with just a bunch of papers that I have to pass. The bar in ULaw, or like any bar provider in the UK, is very much more performative, and then you have a set of papers you have to do. You also have to learn how to perform as well, and I think that's very, very important. Thank you.